The bust of Tartarsky, which was presented to him seconds before it blew up, there was a bomb inside it, requires so much subterfuge, so much creation, so much artifice, that it is almost incomprehensible that a country at war, a country with greater things to worry about than what some random blogger might be saying, should have taken the trouble to have constructed a hidden bomb and sent it off to St. Petersburg to be planted in a cafe which had formerly been owned by Prigozhin. It's far more likely that this is a false flag, and this is something designed to humiliate Prigozhin himself, and indeed, that seems to be the message that Prigozhin is putting forward. He says that this was a domestic operation against him. In fact, he sat in the restaurant, in the same place that was bombed, and just looks a picture of defiance. The problem with Prigozhin is he's getting a bit big for his boots as far as the Kremlin authorities are concerned. He is taking on the big boys. The big boys in the army are not doing very well, even now, as further fronts are opening up in the fight against Ukraine. It's Wagner troops who are being pulled down to assist. The Wagner troops have done very well, oddly, in Bakhmut. What is the point of capturing Bakhmut? God knows. But they've done very well. Now, arguably, the only reason they were allowed to go on their own job and take out Bakhmut, or take out as much of Bakhmut as they possibly can, and of course Prigozhin was waving his flag and planting the flag with Tartarsky's name on it over the civic building, whether it was actually standing at that point or simply a pile of rubble as it is now. It's interesting that in that pile of rubble, the two flags are still quite visible and standing. So I think the rubble probably was pretty well rubble when he stood on it. Remember, he stood on it under night vision, so we couldn't see very much of what he was planting a flag on. This is all smoke and mirrors. And you'll see some sites saying how well Russia is doing. Russia cannot be doing that well. It simply is not possible. But the Bakhmut attack has certainly used up a lot of Ukrainian effort. It's also killed a lot of Ukrainian officers. And in contrast, although a lot of Russians have been killed, they are the insignificant Russians, the ones who were part of the Wagner mercenary brigade, the ones who'd been drawn from prisons, whose lives were expendable. Prigozhin has good reason to be sulky and defiant. But if Prigozhin smells a rat, I think we should too. We certainly shouldn't follow some of the Russian initiative and point the finger of blame for this bust exploding in the direction of Mr. Zelensky. This has nothing to do with Ukraine.